Refined and responsive, Trackmania Turbo is a fun, fast, colourful and compulsive arcade racer crammed with tight controls, smooth and crisp looks, and a genuinely surprising amount of solo and multiplayer content. Turbo's greatest victory is its ability to be both incredibly simple and extremely deep. Beneath its instant accessibility lurks a truly nuanced world of consistent physics that needs to be adapted to and mastered for any hope of setting record times. You need to know when to drift, and at what speeds it's faster not to drift. You need to know at what angle power sliding up on two wheels is acceptable, and at what angle it'll result in a disastrous rollover. You need to appreciate that once you're in the air, you're completely at the mercy of your takeoff angle. Precision is paramount when you're aiming for a narrow bridge hundreds of meters away from the apex of a jump, or a colossal quarter pipe across a yawning gap. Yes, 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 no! The NASCAR modified style racer is my favourite car by far. Composed at absurd speeds and capable of long, predictable power slides, it's a perfect fit for the snaking band's huge jumps and gigantic vert ramps and loops of Trackmania Turbo's Canyon Grand Drift location. I've also enjoyed the F1-inspired open wheeler, which feels planted and grippy, but the two remaining vehicles are a bit too fussy and twitchy. Sand is a buzzkill too. I certainly concede varied grip levels are a carefully designed part of the challenge, but there were several courses I eventually found more frustrating than fun because of it. That said, even when I found myself impatient at the forced switching of locations and vehicles, it's rarely irritating. A large part of that is the length of the tracks themselves, which mostly range between 30 to 60 seconds and can be always restarted instantly.
Hey, pay attention!
There's a staggering 200 of these courses spread across the 4 areas, but there's also Turbo's fully featured TrackMaker system to consider. The tools are definitely here to create tracks as wildly fun and frantic as the ones the developer has crafted itself, although the lack of any obvious in-game browser for user-created tracks is a big miss. Turbo's terrifically broad multiplayer component is excellent though. There's the bizarre but fun double driver mode, which places control of a single car in the hands of 2 separate players. There's 4-player split screen, a wonderful and welcome relic of the glorious era of same-screen multiplayer. Best of all, however, is the online multiplayer racing, where up to 100 players are competing in real time to set the record on any given track. It's a mad torrent of ghost cars flowing around the twisting tracks like a school of frightened fish. The first 30 seconds are always hilarious, as dozens of players fall foul of the same unexpected obstacles simultaneously. I also love how granular the ranking info is, and for me it was the prime reason I became completely obsessed with certain courses. Not only could I see where I ranked in the world, but I could also see where I ranked in Australia, and even where I ranked in my home state. My complaint here would be, although it's clear how many players are still above you, Turbo doesn't make the effort post-race to show you their exact times. So it's never obvious just how much faster you need to be to climb the Forza Horizon 4 retains almost everything that made Forza Horizon 3 the best racer in its class and bakes it into a game that doesn't ever want you to stop playing. The stunning visual quality and sound design, the massive array of automobiles, and the extensively customizable career mode that have become hallmarks of the Horizon series are all here. What's new is just how much more effectively Forza Horizon 4 encourages us to return thanks to its shifting seasons, regularly refreshed challenges, and steady stream of rewards. Every real-time week, the in-game season will change and bring a whole new look to the world, alongside a bunch of season-specific challenges. Every day, there are still more new Forzathon challenges to complete, and every hour, there's a live online event to participate in alongside up to 11 other drivers who we work cooperatively with in order to chip away at a shared goal. All of this is on top of what's essentially the traditional Horizon experience: racing, rally, drift, drag, editing your own events with the Horizon blueprint, the lot. This is all made possible by Horizon 4's new default nature as an online shared world racer, where all the other non-traffic cars cruising the open world are human players. We still race against AI, unless you elect to race with or against friends and such, but you'll be sharing the open world itself with the rest of us, doing our own thing. It's not unlike a more intimate version of The Crew, though the difference is it's not compulsory. You can play entirely offline if you want, and being knocked offline for any reason isn't an issue either, because it's smart enough to seamlessly transition between modes with no loss of progress. Even as an anti-social grouch when it comes to multiplayer, I honestly found no good reason to remove myself from the online environment. Pausing, rewinding, that all still works, even online. And strangers are ghosted on contact too, during both free roaming and Forzathon live events, so no one can interrupt your cruising or stunt driving unless you link up and join a convoy with them. It's worthwhile to participate too, because the points we pick up from completing Forzathon challenges form a second in-game currency, separate from the regular credits we earn racing. These Forzathon points can be redeemed at a separate shop for rare cars and other vanity items, including emotes that seem to range from memes when Vine was still a thing to, yep, that's that dance my kid does 40 times a day. It's a bit like the mileage exchange in GT Sport. It seems most of this stuff can also be won randomly as you level up, and while I'm not a big fan of slot machine style prizes, it should be noted that there are no microtransactions involved. I've had a taste of all seasons, but autumn is probably my favourite. There just seems to be so much detail, from the spectrum of colours in the trees as their leaves die off, to the soggy roadside puddles. Winter is excellent too. If you've played Forza Horizon 3 Blizzard Mountain, you'll have a basic idea of what to expect. It's not just the world turned white, the landscape takes on an entirely new identity. Overall, Horizon 4's Britain is just gorgeous, and I've enjoyed exploring it immensely, and harassing sheep. The overt distinctions between zones aren't as stark as they are in Horizon 3's Australia, which shifts from extremes like dry orange desert to dank rainforest, but a massive increase in elevation differences makes up for that. Having Horizon 4's roads wind over so many hills makes for more interesting driving. The star of the map, however, is Edinburgh, which is so much prettier than Horizon 3's Surfers Paradise. Edinburgh in Horizon 4 is a beautiful place, oozing with history and boasting a really interesting road layout. The supporting cast of cars is the biggest it's ever been in the series, and also the most eclectic, with rides ranging from the 59kg Peel P50